This space is home to our Leadership Academy, which is serving our 9th through 12th grade young people that actually age out of our camp program after their 8th grade year. We recently developed a 9th grade pilot program called RISE, Realizing Interest Through Support and Exploration. The 9th grade RISE program is an introductory program where our young people are introduced to key leadership concepts, career options, and provided tools and resources to help them successfully complete their high school years. Coming out of our 9th grade program, all of our participants are eligible to apply for our premier 3-year Leaders in Training program, or as we like to call it, our LIT program. As part of our 3-year leadership development program, our young people get to focus on critical soft skills, career exploration, and really honing in on what they'd like to do after graduating from high school in terms of their post-secondary options. Furthermore, each young person is paired with a one-to-one mentor throughout their 3 years in the program, someone who's really there to serve as a support system, someone who's there to sort of give them that nagging nurturing when we know they need it most, and to be there to support all of their interests and endeavors as they think about what's next after they graduate from high school. The goal in our new leadership program is to ensure that all of our young people are provided with the opportunities and the skills to be successful. We want our next camper to be the next doctor at the Brigham, or the next engineer at Vertex, or perhaps the next mayor. He's not going anywhere. Similar to our program on Long Island, our amazing Camp Harborview, we will use this space to cultivate the imagination and potential of each and every young person that steps through these doors. We'll use this space to build character, teach life skills, and expose our young people to the educational options that are available to them as they hope to reach their full potential. What I can promise you is the next chapter of Camp Harborview is going to be something special. It's now my pleasure to introduce the man that made all of this happen. Someone that took a plot of land and knew nothing about the camping business and built an incredible experience on Boston Harbor Islands and turned it into a new pathway for thousands of young people in our city, and is now taking that magical place and bringing it here, right to the core of our city, to fulfill its mission in the heart of Boston. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Connors.
Lisa, thank you very much, and thank you all for being with us this evening. Welcome to Camp Harborview. 12 summers ago, we had the opportunity to open the camp for the first season. And at the time, the objectives were really quite simple. We wanted youngsters in this city, inner city kids, to be safe, and then we wanted them to have fun. Now, 12 years later, we've become much more than a summer camp. We're really, as you witnessed tonight, this is a year-round resource for our kids and their families. Some people think we're here tonight for a ribbon cutting and an open house of this extraordinary new facility. But in fact, that was a bit of a ruse. We're here because tonight is Lisa's birthday. So if you'll excuse me while we find the right pitch. The right key. No, it's not that one. No. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lisa. Happy birthday to you. If you'd like a copy of that, send a check for $19.95 to Camp Harborview for shipping and handling, and we'll be happy to send. So, a year-round program and the camp have been coming along over these years, and each year it gets better and better. But when our president, Sharon McNally, identified Lisa to be our executive director, she took a year-round program and a camp, an 8-week camp program, from something that was very good and made it best in class, made it the best that we could ever have imagined. And Lisa, thank you for the extraordinary job you've done. Sharon, our president, you put together an amazing team with a wonderful spirit, and you've taken this idea and turned it into something that's beyond anything I would have ever imagined. So thank you for your leadership. Mr. Mayor, Marty Walsh, the camp wasn't your idea, and you could have said, look, that belonged to my predecessor. But that's not who you are. That's not what you're made of. You said, you came into my office and you said, I understand you folks are involved in Camp Harborview. What can I do? What can my administration do to make the camp an even greater success? And every promise you've made, you've kept. Every bridge you suggested you'd build, you've built. Oh, I forgot, you're next. And everything we've needed, you've provided. And this facility is an extraordinary example of you keeping promises and going above and beyond. We asked that you introduce this space, which was pretty dreary, to the unions. And you brought all the unions here and you said to them, we want you to show the side of the unions that does good, which is about 95% of what the unions are responsible for. How am I doing with the union plug? Is that okay? And so all of this work, all of this reconstruction, this restoration, the beautiful woodworking, the painting, all the new windows, the offices, et cetera, was contributed by the unions. All we paid for was the materials, which were $4.3 million. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce not just my friend, but the greatest friend that Camp Harborview has ever had, and that's Mayor Marty Walsh.
Thank you, Jack. Before I talk about Jack, I want to thank Lisa, who is doing an incredible job here at the camp, and it's great to have you here, and happy birthday for today. It's a special birthday present, opening this beautiful building. I'm going to talk about you in a minute, Sharon. Let me just thank the Board of Directors, the Board of Advisors, the donors, the building trades, the contract, Suffolk, anyone who had anything to do with this building. Thank you for your help. I know that when I met with Jack and Sharon probably about a year ago, maybe a little more, less than a year ago, they were talking about an opportunity for a program for the young people of Camp Harborview who are here today, a first-class, state-of-the-art space for them to come in this program, this year-round program that they're doing there. And I said, well, whatever I can do, let me know. And then a few months later, I got a call. Sharon called me and said, I think we found a space. And I don't know what Jack's on the space yet. And then Jack called me, and he liked the space. And he said, I love the space. And we made the calls. But thanks anyone who had anything to do with tonight. I appreciate it. When Camp Harborview was created, I was a state rep. And I know that it was created back in the day because of violence in the street. Mayor Menino got together with Jack, and I think John Fish, and then the trades got on board, Jimmy Coyle. And they started talking about building this space out in the island, the Harbor Islands. And the story that I heard the most was young kids from Roxbury and Dorchester that never saw the ocean. And when you think about that, they lived in the city of Boston and they never saw the ocean. And they talked about the opportunity, the amazing opportunity to create a camp on the island. And the camp was created. In 2014, I got elected mayor of Boston, and I knew who Jack Connors was, but I really didn't know the man. I knew him from being philanthropic. I knew him from his job in Hill Holiday. I knew him from his name was mentioned. He's an honorary chair for everything, and I didn't really know him, and I didn't know Sharon at all, and Eileen Connors. I didn't know Eileen, and very early in my tenure, right after I got sworn in, Jack invited me up to his office. He didn't ask for anything. He said, I will never call you here and ask you for anything. I just want to get to know you and want to see how I can help you in the city of Boston. And from that point until today, with the exception of Camp Harborview, Jack's never asked me for anything. So I want to thank Jack for keeping his promise, kind of. 95% of the time, he keeps his promise. But I've had the chance to go out to Camp Harborview I've had the chance to meet these amazing young people that are here today. You just talk to them. Talk about where they want to go in life, whether it's BU or UMass Boston, or it's St. John's, or it's juniors and senior and freshmen and sophomores that are here. Talk about the impact of this program in Camp Harborview on their life. Some of these kids started as going as kids, and some of them are counselors now, and now they're getting older and they're becoming part of the camp. The place is amazing, and I know we talk about the gala every year, and we talk about all these different things, but I have a chance every year, at least once a year, to go out and firsthand experience the kids and the firsthand experience what happens on the camp. Camp Harborview is not a camp with a swimming pool and soccer fields and football fields and basketball that's going to be done over, and tennis courts and this crazy thing you go up and you swing off of up in the air, and a sailing program. It's none of that. It's an opportunity for young people to get an education. It's an opportunity for young people to really grow up and learn some skills they never had. It's an opportunity for them to make friends. It's an opportunity. It's so much more than a camp. And I can't express that enough. And just talk to one of the young people here in the purple or the yellow or the green shirts or the Camp Harborview jackets, and they'll tell you exactly the opportunity they have. You know, we spend a lot of time talking about how do we get young kids on the path to success, and how do we spend a lot of time doing that. Camp Harborview does it for us. 900 kids roughly a year go out there, and thousands and thousands and thousands of kids have done it since its inception. That's because of a lot of people, but that's because of Jack Connors. That's because this guy was asked by the city, by the mayor, and asked by other people, what can we do? And he came up with this incredible program, this incredible idea. It started out as a camp. Now it's a year-round program where the young people get an opportunity to come to this space here. It's a good space. It's a safe space. It's an opportunity for them to be able to grow up in this space, make connections. And I said to these guys today, I said to them, look around the room, because there's a lot of people in this room that are connected. They run companies. They run utilities. They run all kinds of stuff. So make sure you talk to them. But there's an opportunity at the camp that's incredible. And being in the role as mayor, you deal with a lot of stuff. Last week I talked about climate change at the Chamber of Commerce. People said, oh, it was a great speech you did. A couple of days later, we're talking about breaking ground on a billion-dollar building, and we're doing that, and we're doing all these great things. But what it really comes down to is what's happening in the neighborhoods. What it really comes down to is giving young people an opportunity to be successful and put them on a pathway to success. We spend too much time talking about the negative side of what's going on when there's a shooting or a homicide or something in the city of Boston, and we don't spend enough time talking about the great opportunities for our kids in the city of Boston. And Camp Harborview is probably one of the best, if not the best. So Jack, on behalf of all the young people that went through this program in the city of Boston, and for all the kids, for the future generations that you're raising money for and taking care of, we want to say thank you. And now I have the great honor of introducing Sharon McNally. Sharon is, as I said to you, in January of 2014, I didn't know who Sharon was. I met her when I went to the Connors office in January, early January. I met her briefly. She came in. We talked for a little while. And I didn't realize that that was the start of an incredible friendship. And I didn't realize that was the start of somebody who is a visionary, and somebody who really a lot of what I gave Jack credit for, Sharon does. Like that one, Sharon? But the future of this camp, and the future since the day of the first shovel in the ground, really was about laying down the foundation of having incredible people in the background doing the work to make it work. And you can have an idea, and you can have this great person like Jack Connors raising money and putting money in the bank and building an endowment and doing all that stuff. But what you do need is a visionary leader, and somebody who's willing to work to make it work. And Sharon is that person. And I'm honored to say that over the last 5 years, she's become a very close friend of mine and Laurie's. And I'm honored to be here tonight. And I want to bring up to the microphone the president of Camp Harborview Foundation and the Chief of Staff of the Connor Family Offices, Sharon McNally.
Thank you, Mayor, and thanks to all of you for being here tonight. I was just thinking, I think I'm the only person of the 16 or 17 of us on the camp team now who was here on day one. When the camp wasn't completed, there was a lot of rubble still on the grounds. We didn't really know where the campers were coming from. We didn't know how we were going to get them there. We didn't know what we were going to feed them, and we certainly didn't know what we were going to do for them in terms of programming. So it's a proud moment to be here tonight and see that we have this beautiful facility now where the kids feel welcomed and honored. They know that it's special for them, and we have an amazing executive director who has brought a real wonderful team together, and we have a great program for these kids to enjoy. So it's all about opportunity, and I think the opportunity is very rich right now. So it wouldn't happen without all of you. I appreciate all of you for all that you do for us. We feel very well supported. Mr. Mayor, you've been fantastic, and we have a little gift for you. You don't have to put it on, but it's your very own Camp Harborview jacket. And now we have a ribbon to cut. So, Jack, could you come back up here?
1, 2, 3.